welcome to Monster Chow, where we tally up the victims left by monsters. Today we're looking at 10 Cloverfield Lane, released in 2016, just 8 years after Cloverfield destroyed. This movie is again about the mystery of what is happening with the monsters out on the surface. Cloverfield sits in first place for most kills, and movies with multiple monsters will get an award called the Platinum Monster of the coolest monster. So I give Clover that award in Cloverfield. Now let's get to the kills. The movie begins with Michelle hurrying up to pack. No one else talks, but you can tell Michelle has relationship issues and she ditches her fiancé. She then drives away, but her fiancé Ben calls her again, but she ignores him. She gets in a car crash caused by a truck, and then a title card. She wakes up chained to a wall with IVs in her arm in a little cell. She cries for a while, but then she smartens up and uses the IV pole to hook her stuff. She's probably one of the smarter horror movie final girls. Anyway, she gets her phone, but there's no service. Eventually, Howard comes in to give her some food and to reset her IV. Howard tells her that he's going to help her, and he's not going to harm her. Michelle says that people will come to save her, but Howard's like, nope, no one is coming. She gets her clothes on after using the key Howard gave her to free herself, and she figures out that the tip of the crutches can be sharpened. She waits for her captor to attack him, but she puts a fire in the vent to draw him in, and she attacks Howard, but he sedates her. Howard respects her will to escape, but he tells her he's trying to help her. He says that he found her and brought her here to keep her alive. And he tells her about a chemical or nuclear attack, and she's in a bunker. He saved her from a car crash. He says that a possible weapon type could alter how long they can stay in that bunker. Through some clever dialogue, he mentions the monsters are aliens. Emmett crashes around in the background, and Howard leaves to go yell at him. Michelle hears what she thinks is a car above her, and she leaves her room to find Emmett in his cubbyhole eating some goldfish. Emmett tells her she's lucky to have a door, and there's some character development going on. They go on a tour of Howard's bunker with a couple of rules. Howard doesn't like any people touching each other, and Howard shows her the bathroom and all that stuff. Howard mentions his daughter Megan, who is dead, but since she died before the movie, I'm not going to put her on the kill count. Michelle mentions that the car she heard, but Howard says that's not possible. Howard tells her to look to see the pigs outside, and since their influence is to scare Michelle and they died before, I'm not going to add them to the count either. She looks over at the truck, and she realizes that it's the same truck that crashed into her. Emmett and Michelle have some more character development by reading together, and it turns out Howard worked on the Navy for satellites. And he's also a good conspiracy theorist. And Emmett broke his arm trying to get into the bunker, and Michelle confronts Emmett, telling him that Howard crashed her and kidnapped her. But Emmett tells her that he probably saved her, and Howard comes in to call in for dinner. At dinner, Howard talks about Megan some more, and how she's a good cook. Emmett compliments the food, but Howard takes it offensively. Emmett talks about tattoos for a while, and then they talk about Monopoly, and it pisses off Howard. Michelle strikes up conversation about board games, then her and Emmett both talk. She touches his hand and it pisses off Howard and he loses it. He pins her to the wall and Michelle uses this opportunity to grab his keys. They go back to eating and Michelle hears something outside and smashes a bottle on Howard's head to leave. She runs out for the bunker door, and Howard starts to chase her. She escapes the first set of doors, and then she sees a car. She's about to open the final door when a crazy lady shows up, and this lady's name is Leslie, I guess. And she starts yelling to ask her to let her in, but she speaks crazy for a little bit and bangs on the door. She starts doing what Pennywise did in the movie and starts banging her head on the door. Eventually Michelle backs off, and I'm going to put her on the count now because she does die, but it doesn't show her body until a little bit later. Howard says that it's okay because Michelle got a bit of reality, and Howard admits he crashed into her on accident trying to get her into the bunker, but he felt bad and grabbed her to safety. He gives her some of Megan's clothes after she changes. Howard tells her to give him some stitches because of the bottles she smashed on him. and he shows her a freezing agent that could come into use later. She stitches it up and gives her a box with her stuff. And it turns out she was a fashion designer. Howard gives her a picture of Megan, and he says she left her with her mom. Emmett and Michelle calm down about the crazy lady, and Emmett says that she would have died anyway. More character development happens of a montage of them doing things, and then the bunker starts shaking. Something flies underneath, and Howard talks about how it's a military, but not Earth's. And through some more clever dialogue, Howard mentions possible extraterrestrials. The air filter goes offline, and Michelle is sent to fix it. Michelle crawls through the claustrophobic tunnel of a vent, and then she makes it to the filter and resets it. She sees extra stuff up there with an extra hatch. A blue sky is seen, but it's locked, obviously. She says a message engraved from the inside saying help. She finds an earring. Michelle thinks that Megan was held hostage and killed by Howard. Michelle shows her the picture, and Emmett says that that's not Megan, and that's someone else named Brittany. Another picture falls out of the book, with Howard and another ghastly girl wearing the same shirt as Michelle. And they both realize that Howard killed both of them. And I'm not adding them on the count because they died prior to the movie. Howard comes in and dances for a while. Michelle figures out a plan to build a hazmat suit, and Emmett agrees to help her. Emmett convinces Howard that the shower curtain is contaminated when Michelle went to go take a shower earlier. And he takes it down, and Michelle and Emmett retrieve it, and they start building the suit. They come up with a plan to escape Howard. They play a game, and Howard grabs a creep card, but Michelle defuses it by saying Santa. After a while, Howard rallies everyone up and shows them a vat of acid. Howard gives them some science lessons, and it can disintegrate anything. Howard tells them that he knows what they're doing, and chucks everything of their tools into the vat. Emmett admits he's building something and wants Howard's gun. Howard looks sympathetic to Emmett, but Howard shoots him in the head. Michelle observes in horror. Howard grabs her and takes her to her room, but then she looks at the helmet. Eventually, Howard comes in to give her some ice cream, and he wants to be a family man to her. When Howard leaves, Michelle finishes up her suit. She hides it before Howard comes back in, and a screw falls, and Howard notices something wrong, but he doesn't notice the mask. He notices the suit under the bed, and Michelle escapes and traps him. She sees Emmett's dissolving body in the vat of acid. Howard gets out, but Michelle kicks over the vat of acid, and Howard slips onto it like a fat bastard. Michelle eventually retrieves her suit, but Howard comes back and corners her. Michelle escapes, though, through a vent, and Howard comes back like a raptor through the vent with a knife. Howard grabs her, but she kicks him off, and she puts the suit on and gets ready to leave. She freezes the lock and breaks it, and she escapes outside. She wanders around for a little bit. She goes for Howard's truck to find it unlocked. Her suit rips, but as she fixes it, she sees birds flying above. She comes to realize that Howard's full of shit and she could breathe air. It starts to get dark, and Michelle can hear something. A ship is flying over, and an explosion goes off in the bunker, finally killing Howard. The ship hears the explosion and comes to investigate, dropping off some aliens. She sees Crazy Lady's car and runs for it. We see Crazy Lady's body now, but there's some monsters outside, or the aliens. And one of them comes up to shut up the car. They fail, and we see them in full body. An alien comes knocking and says hi, but it's curious about the car target shutting up and leaves. Michelle runs away, and the alien chases her, but a ship shows up over the house, poisoning the air with green smoke. So Howard was right. Michelle puts on her suit just in time, and the alien runs away. But then it comes back and traps her in the truck, and it rips off her mask. The ship comes over and grabs her. It roars at her, and she's not about to give up. She sees a lighter and makes a Molotov cocktail, and she throws it at the ship, and it explodes. She crashes to the ground, watching the ship crash. She gets out of the truck and goes to Crazy Lady's car. She starts driving away and a radio broadcast plays asking people to help them fight. Michelle then drives towards the Battle of Houston and the final shot of our final girl hero driving to the city with some ships flying over. How many kills did this bunker mystery leave us? Let's go to the numbers and find out. We have 4 deaths in 10 Cloverfield Lane. 1 lady, 2 dudes, and 1 ship. The ship is pretty organic, so I count it as 1. But that is 4 kills, and even though it's a low number, it has second place, with Cloverfield in the lead, with 33. The Golden Fang Award for coolest kill will go to the ship because it exploded by a Molotov cocktail. Gold Fang Award goes to Howard because he died from an explosion away from the audience, and a villain like him should deserve a better death. The Platinum Monster for coolest monster also goes to the ship. It was so cool. With a runtime of 103 minutes, that's a kill on average every 25.75 minutes. 10 Cloverfield Lane was released in 2016 and had pretty good reviews from audience members, but they wanted more monsters. Will our next movie give us more monster? Because next time, we're looking at the Cloverfield Paradox. Spoilers, it's not. Anyway, this has been the Kill Count. Thank you for watching Monster Chat. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see higher production videos, then go visit Dead Meat. He covers horror movies. Here we cover monsters, he covers horror. Thanks for watching.